Welcome to Punch Up. This is a review of the Nintendo Switch 2, the successor to the best-selling Nintendo Switch. First, the Nintendo Switch 2 has a brand new 7.9-inch LCD display. It's at 1080p with HDR10 support, VRR, and up to 120 frames per second. On the back is this brand new wider kickstand, and on the inside is a custom NVIDIA processor with 256 gigabytes of internal storage. And on the sides here are where the new Joy-Con 2s attach. So the right and the left now attached magnetically. So all you do is put them onto the side and they click right on. On the back, you can again see the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. It has this great matte finish and everything is of nice quality. On the top you have USB-C charging, power button, volume rocker, and the cartridge slot. And on the bottom, you have an extra USB-C for charging. And here are the new Joy-Con 2s. They're a bit bigger than the original ones, but they're more comfortable to hold. And the right one has a new C button for game chat. They both connect magnetically, and there's a little release button on the back here that detaches the controller from the internal magnets. So all you do is place it next to the side and they'll automatically snap right in. Once it's in, it feels really secure as well. And same thing with the left one. You just put it right next to the connector and it'll glide right in. And this is the included Joy-Con 2 grip that allows you to attach Joy-Con to the left and right so that it acts like a normal gamepad. This is not the charging grip though. That one is sold separately for $39.99. And just for comparison, this is the Switch 2 compared to the original Switch. And as you can see, it is a bit larger than the original one. It's heftier, but it feels a lot more premium than the former. And this is the comparison between the Switch 2, the Asus ROG Ally, and the Steam Deck. As you can see, the Switch 2 is tinier. It's certainly much thinner. And overall, I feel like it's more comfortable to hold than either of the two PC handhelds. And here's an overview of the Nintendo Switch 2 interface. It looks very similar to the original Switch interface, but there are some improvements, including the Nintendo eShop, which is now native to the software. So instead of porting you to a web page, things load very quickly. There is a For You section for recommendations. If you go to each of the titles, a trailer automatically starts playing. So a lot of great improvements to make it a quick and easy way to purchase new games for your Switch 2. And briefly, here are some of the settings that you can adjust for the Switch 2, including the new Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. Now you can put your Joy-Con 2 vertically to act as a mouse, and here you can set mouse sensitivity. And other settings include things for resolution and HDR output, setting the resolution, for example, to 4K, enabling HDR. There's a screen burn-in reduction setting, and also HDR output to your TV. So if you don't have HDR, you don't need to turn that on, and it will make things look normal without any HDR enhancements. And finally, there's an option to max charge your Switch 2 at 90% to protect the battery. And here is the killer app Mario Kart World running on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it looks fantastic in 1080p and with HDR and VRR running. The screen, as you can see, just looks great as far as color representation, especially when you have all these built-in now visual enhancements to the game. And as you can see, it's running at 60 FPS. And here's a look back at the Switch 1 running The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now there is a new Nintendo Switch 2 edition that you can update the game for $9.99. And this is how it looks on the Switch 2. So as you can see, it's a huge improvement over the non-enhanced edition. And Korok Forest, of course, was always struggling on the Switch 1, and here you can see it looks amazing at 60 FPS. The colors are vibrant, even though this is an LCD, and so this is just the visual quality that you can expect from the Switch 2. It's a huge enhancement over the first. And here's Street Fighter 6 running beautifully and even close to matching some console competitors like the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X versions. And of course, you can also play your old library of Switch 1 games, many of which have new updates, free updates that you can download, including one for Super Mario Wonder, which has gameplay enhancements, and other titles where the frame rate is improved just with a free update patch. And this is the new Nintendo Switch 2 dock, which includes 2 USB-A ports for charging, HDMI and Ethernet. And when you put it into a large screen, of course, you get full 4K 60 output, and it looks great on a large TV. A big complaint about the Switch 1 was that it wasn't native to 4K, and of course the Switch 2 is, so you can enjoy playing games on the big screen as well, and it looks great. One of the new controller options is the new Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, and I've had a great time using this to play in docked mode, and it has these new G, L, and GR buttons in the back, which are totally programmable to any game and for any user. And these are the new Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. Once you attach the included strap, it acts as a base for the mouse, and a cursor will automatically appear on the Nintendo Switch 2 screen once you have it in mouse format. And it works great. It's super accurate. You click with the triggers, you could scroll up and down with the analog stick, and it seems like it'll be a great option for future games. And this is the new game chat feature for the Nintendo Switch 2. You just hit the C button to initiate a chat, invite your friends, and you can screen share, add a USB camera to see your friends, and it does a good job of noise canceling the microphone so that you don't hear TV background noises. And there are formatting options, so you can customize how it looks on screen, but this feature is locked behind the Nintendo Switch Online membership paywall, so keep that in mind. But right out of the gate, the Switch 2 seems to be punching well above its weight with games like Cyberpunk 2077, demonstrating the powerful capabilities of this new system, along with new third-party releases to be coming soon in 2025, like Elden Ring and Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. These are a lot of third-party games that were unable to make it to the Switch 1, but now with this new power upgrade, you can expect Nintendo games and all third parties to be on board. It's an impressive machine, and I highly recommend it. And while it is still a conservative design compared to the Switch 1, it is a definite improvement and refinement over the first. For more videos, hit subscribe, and for more news and reviews, head to news.punchdump.com.